Thank you again for tuning in, for spending some time on this practice and with myself. First thing I'm going to do is actually read through the practice that I wrote. I kind of gathered this practice from 4 different renditions of the Medicine Buddha practice that I've learned throughout 35 years. It's in some ways kind of like writing a version or a new edit of an ancient song. And what I've tried to do is make it pertinent, short, and meaningful to us, to our vernacular in this time, particularly addressing this plague that we're dealing with. So first, this is the reading transmission or reading introduction. It's like giving you Medicine Buddha's email or phone number. You now have permission to actually bring him into your life. And so first, the reading transmission. There are many versions of this practice. The one below I wrote utilizing teachings and transmissions from Dingo Khyentse Rinpoche, Trungpa Rinpoche, Jamgon Kongtrul Rinpoche, and Lama Rinchen. First, rest in heartfelt presence and appreciation. Then declare to yourself as you softly speak and repeat 3 times. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. I engender and praise the lineage of caregivers throughout all times, including those teachers of mine who have opened my heart and eyes to love and compassion. Particularly in this age of a worldwide plague, I wish to help. I become the Medicine Buddha of Vajrayana, blue, luminous, radiating healing light, holding an alms bowl of supreme medicine. Diseases of body, heart, mind, and lack of connecting to sacredness are eradicated. Healing, peace, and brilliant wisdom ensue. Chant. Om Ahum Vajraguru Padmasambhava Basaja Rajaya Samugate Svaha. Om Ahum Vajraguru Padmasambhava Basaja Rajaya Samugate Svaha. Om Ahum Vajraguru Padmasambhava Basaja Rajaya Samugate Svaha. My loose interpretation of the meaning of the prayer, Om Ahum, are sounds that call forth the wisdom and love of the universe. Then you call the greatest of teachers, Padmasambhava, to manifest as the Medicine Buddha of this time to dispel suffering and sickness. As Tibetan is foreign to most of us, and the main point of the practice is our motivation to help alleviate suffering, it may be sufficient to first visualize yourself as Medicine Buddha and simply repeat the words Om Ahum. After chanting, rest in the glorious presence of tenderness and appreciation for as long as you wish. Aspirations, saying out loud. May the mental and physical pain of all beings cease. May all beings enjoy happiness, peace, and joy. May the earth and the universe feel my prayer for healing. Dedicating the merit, say out loud. By this intention and practice, may all beings obtain a mission. May this defeat the enemy wrongdoing and thinking. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, may I free all beings. My well wishes. I hope this gives you a practice to do throughout your day whenever you encounter pain or misunderstanding. You can flash a visualization of yourself as Medicine Buddha and or repeat the mantra of the 3 words of empowerment. Om Ahum. Thank you. So now I'm going to go over the practice. Again, I'm going to make this simple, as the three following links are really if you want to empower it or have it be a little bit more turbocharged, supercharged for you. If you find it's a meaningful practice for you, please do watch the following 3 videos. First, I'm saying some gratitude to my lineage of teachers who have taught me this practice. And then when I say first, rest in heartfelt presence and appreciation, this is really the ground or the fundamental piece of meditation practice altogether. Is learning how to hold ourselves in presence, and in this sense, acknowledge the simplicity of beingness, the beauty of beingness, the magnificence of beingness, simply, without care. It's like you put quotation marks around this and you just say, now I'm just going to feel what it is to just be in space. And you kind of engender a sense of joy and love. You might stay in that space for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You might stay in that space for quite a while. But first, rest in the heartfelt presence and appreciation. Then when you've connected to that sense of upliftedness. You take refuge, and by saying these words, you say it 3 times, because you'll notice the first time you're just kind of mumbling through it. The second time you get a little closer to the meaning, and the third time you're actually declaring this. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. I take refuge in the sacred space of my inherent wisdom and compassion. Now that you've fundamentally set the ground, you acknowledge again your lineage, the people who have helped you learn these fundamental things of love, kindness, the desire to help altogether other people. In a sense, you're taking on a lineage of nobility. So you kind of sit tall and not exactly pride, but dignity, like a king or a queen. Like anytime we think outside of ourselves, our little self-absorption, there's a sense of the whole universe goes, yeah, that's right, think of others. So that's what you're thinking when you do this. I engender and praise the lineage of caregivers throughout all times, including those teachers of mine who have opened my heart and eyes to love and compassion. Particularly in this age of a worldwide plague, I wish to help. So heartfelt, and a sense of wanting to contribute and knowing that you're doing something very brave, very noble, very beautiful. I become the medicine Buddha Vunilana. This is kind of fun. This goes into visualization practice, which again I'll cover a little later, but I'll do it real briefly. One metaphor I use is like if you saw the movie Avatar, there's a moment where I think his name is Josh, I don't know. He gets plugged into his pod and he awakens with another body. It's like you, through resting and saying this praise to your lineage, you forget who you are and you instantly arise in this glorious, radiant being who's made a vow that throughout times to help heal the planet. You just allow yourself this extraordinary visualization or proclamation of being this extraordinary blue luminous angel. It's like, again, in Avatar, where he wakes up and he's got this glorious body and looks down and he thinks he's a human, but instead he's got this magnificent avatar body. So you're leaping into having this magnificent uplifted avatar body, medicine Buddha. You're blue, you're luminous, you're radiating, you're holding an arms of supreme medicine, representing medicine throughout all times. You hold this classic Indian flower that represents natural healing throughout the 3 times. And you're connecting to sacredness, and all thoughts of not being connected to sacredness are eradicated. You healing, peace, and brilliant wisdom ensue. Then you say the actual song, the actual ditty, the actual chant, the actual mantra, the actual name of medicine Buddha. I go on to say that this is probably the most foreign of the part of medicine Buddhas. Most of us don't speak Tibetan or Sanskrit. Nonetheless, if you can memorize it, it's very, very helpful. And you might be saying this minimum 3 times, 7, 21, hundreds for hours. If you like the practice, I can't even count how many hours I've done this practice. But fundamentally, you say Om Ahum Vajra Guru Pamasambhava Basaja Rajaya Samugate Svaha. Again, minimum of 3 times. Now, you know, throughout the world, there's been a way of counting prayers, you could say, or counting mantras. So, I mean, I'm so attuned to having a mala, or you could call it a prayer bead wheel, or I'm trying to think, I'm sorry, a rosary. Thank you. And it's helpful. I also have one I actually travel with that I put on my wrist, so when I'm praying and I'm scared in airplanes, I say mantra. But it's sometimes helpful to have something to count, but it isn't necessary. And then you finish with that mantra, again, sensing that you really have become this person and you really have this heartfelt intention. So then I go on to say my loose interpretation of the prayer, Om Ahum, are sounds that call forth the love and wisdom of the universe. Then you call on these great teachers, the medicine Buddha, etc., etc. You can read that. And after you do this, after you do the chant, and you hold yourself. And I suggest you hold yourself really powerfully and strong during this, like I'm doing now. There's a sense that you've generated something, that you've shifted your mind in a very profound way, that you've connected to this amazing altruism, this amazing compassion and kindness that's inherent in you. And you just simply rest in this sense of upliftedness. It actually is very tender, touches your heart. You feel this. It's like a buzz, like your body's energized and your intentions and motivation have come to fruition. But you've dropped the visualization. You're just yourself in some sense, but you're back to that beingness quality. It almost can be sad. It almost can be overwhelming. It almost can shock you because it's, quite frankly, so beautiful. So you rest in that as long as you wish. That's sometimes known as the completion stage. And I say after chanting, rest in this tenderness and appreciation for as long as you wish. Could be quite some time. It might be just a few seconds or a minute. And now you're going to say what you aspired to. You're going to say, this is what I hope to accomplish. May the mental and physical pains of all beings cease. May all beings enjoy happiness, peace, and joy. May the earth and the universe feel my prayer for healing. So you say that with heartfelt intention. And finally, in this practice, if you've learned something, or if you've gained in wisdom, or you've gained intent, or you've gained compassion, you don't want to be burdened with that. You don't want to have it be the golden change of spirituality, how precious you are, how special you are. So you take whatever you've learned and you say, may I spread this out, and may the little glimpse of insight I have benefit everybody on the planet. That's called dedicating the merit. So you kind of give any money you've gained away, any of the merit that you've gained away. By this intention and practice, may all obtain a mission. May this defeat the enemy wrongdoing and thinking. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, may I free all beings. Now you just come back to your ordinary self, but again, there's a sense that you've been shifted. You've signed on to a glorious way of looking at life. And then I finally end by saying my well wishes. I hope this gives you a practice to do throughout your day. Whenever you encounter pain or misunderstanding, you can flash the visualization of yourself as Medicine Buddha, or repeat the mantra or the 3 words of empowerment, Om Ahum. The reason that you do any practice like this, any practice that is for the benefit of others, is it's flat out more a fun way to live your life. And you start to notice that. The more you have nobility, the more you have dignity, the more you realize you're in a sacred world, the more you give, the more you get out of the box of self-absorption, the more fun you have. I always say, the reason you do any of this is because it's a more fun way to live. It makes you happy, and you're driven to be happy. So I hope you allow yourself to be punctured through the day and go, oh, that person's suffering. Oh, my whole world is shifting. The whole world is getting interconnected. Whatever your dreams and wishes are for the teaching or learning or opportunity in this plague. So again, thank you so much for spending a little time with me. Go for it. Get to know this beautiful being. Get to know the beautiful being in yourself. Get to know the beautifulness of being. Aloha.